Not all cable ties are created the same, and I'm gonna go over the different types of cable ties that I use and the ones that I would recommend for different situations and different scenarios and how I would recommend using these. The first thing we're gonna look at is what might commonly be referred to as Velcro or like hook and loop. These are, they stick to everything. First con. I would use these for just tying cables, tying things, but they get lost pretty frequently and you end up with all these like loose bits. It is one of the most cost-effective ways of managing your cables. They're fine, right? You know, they work in the way that you would expect them to. But the second you take them off, they're lost. They get lost easily. One of the ways that I like to use these hook and loop, these cut your own to size hook and loop is for paper rolls, and they're great for paper rolls. I found a better solution for paper rolls, which I'll get to in a minute, but this is a very inexpensive way to do it, and you just put it on your paper. No tape mess. That's gonna hold it there. It does slide a little bit depending on how tightly you put it, but that is perfect. You can just take the cut your own size ones, put it around your paper roll, grab your scissors, use multiples of those, keep your paper nice and clean, keep the tape off of it so you're not ruining your paper and you're causing rips in your paper as well. These are, I think, the best use for the hook and loop. If you're going to get that, then get the 1 inch thick. These smaller ones will work, but they're not as strong, and the paper is more likely to rip because there's a small point of pressure on the paper. So for the Velcro, the hook and loop, everything that you're gonna see here today, I just got off of Amazon, and I'll put the links in the description below. You can decide what you wanna use what for what. But that is my recommended use for 1 inch thick hook and loop tape. And beware if you have a dog, because this is gonna be covered in dog hair. Now, my second recommendation is also hook and loop. I got this in a pack of 80, I believe. And when you need one, you just peel it off of the stack. And these are great because they are permanently attached to your cable. So anything I have that is a cable automatically now gets one of these. So I just put it on. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory how these work. Everything that I have that requires a cable gets one of those. And then when I undo it, it's not gonna get lost because it's always attached to the cable. That is the most common kind of cable tie that you will find in my studio. Next up, we have Bongo Ties. These are elastics with an anchor point on them. So when you wrap these around a cable, the biggest issue here is that you can't really tighten them. You can get a bit of tension on there. That over time is just gonna get loose, and that's not gonna hold very well. So these are not great for holding cables together unless there are cables of a specific size. But where I do find these work excellent is when you are securing something to a light stand. These are perfect because they fit around the bar of the light stand and then anchor off to itself and hold cables in place. They can suspend cables too because of the friction. So if you are putting something into your studio in a sort of semi-permanent way, you'll want to use Bongo Ties. If you're tying something off to a grid, Bongo Ties. These are, I think, a fantastic option in the studio when you want to secure something permanently, rather than using plastic cable ties, which you will have to cut and cut again to take off. These are great, they're reusable. The only thing that I would say is that because they are elastic, it's just an elastic, that will degrade over time, but it will take years for this rubber to degrade. So highly recommend the Bongo Ties for securing cables to light stands. They're great for tether stations if you want to hang cables there or keep your cable management clean. They're perfect for that use as well. Next we have these. These are elastics, again with an anchor point, except this anchor point is movable. These are from Think Tank. Think Tank refers to them as red whips, and I've been using these for the past 12 years. I think these very ones I've had for 12 years and they still work great. The Think Tank ones come in this sort of storage cube that you can use for cable management as well. So you'll just take these, wrap it around the cable, and then cinch it tight, and that works wonders. So I've been using that for years. These are also great on light stands and for the cable management on your lights and your light stands. Keeping everything neat and tidy. I often just have these hanging in my studio. Every light stand has one hanging from it, so that when I'm putting a light on that and running a cable, there's already a red whip there to secure the cable to the light stand. You can get generic versions of these, and the generic versions I have found the elastic is not as thick, it's not as strong, it feels a little flimsy, but they'll still work. You can also get kits, so you can get this material, cut this to the length, thread it through one of these anchors, and then tie it off on the end, so you can make your own in whatever size that you want. So that is also available and a solution for you to use as well. These are great for all kinds of purposes. I know someone who uses them on their paper rolls and they just put them like that. Although I think that's kind of a waste of a good red whip, because pretty much any elastic can do that. And I actually think the strips of Velcro work better, but I even have a better solution that I'm gonna show you right now. Recently, I've started using cinch straps. You can wrap these around rolls of paper here and just pull that tight. The specific ones I don't recommend for using on paper because they are a little too short. They also don't have any grip on the inside of them. So these are great for cables. If you have like a large outdoor extension cable, this would be perfect. You can just cinch it tight and strap it up. But the best solution that I have found now for keeping my paper clean, the hook and loop is great, but these cinch straps, these ones are 2 inches thick. They have rubber going down the inside of them, and that grips onto the paper and keeps the roll nice and tight. You know, wrap it around your roll, and the rubber on the inside is going to grab it. And because this is elastic, that cinches nice and tight, and that is perfect. The rubber on it causes it to not move. The force is spread out amongst the surface of the edge of the paper, so you're less likely to get tearing on that. These straps aren't gonna work great. They do not fit around a full roll. They only fit around a roll that has been used. These are 12 inches and these are 18 inches. So get the 18-inch ones, because those I think are your best options for cable use and cable management. So that's how I use all the different cables. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. If you found this video helpful, please hit that thumbs up button, share it with a friend, share it in a Facebook group, share it online, and hit subscribe to stick around for more videos that I hope you will also find helpful.